All right, everybody. Again, this is Aubin with Inside Real Estate, and I just wanted to talk through our training today and how we're going to switch things up just a little bit based on the feedback I've been hearing. So, you guys, today we are going to be talking about our website settings and how to configure some of those types of things. But I do want to leave at least 15 minutes at the end of our training today for an open Q&A session. I don't. It's really a little bit difficult in this platform to unmute all of you. So if you please could just go to that go-to webinar control panel. If you don't know where that is, it's that orange little flowery application. If you click on that, it'll bring up my screen share as well as our control panel. And there is a drop down for questions for you guys, so you can type out those questions. And again, I'd like to leave at least a solid 10 to 15 minutes minimum for questions today to help you guys. This is kind of our last official training as of right now. So again, we're going to go through some website settings, but don't limit yourself to just questions about the website settings. Feel free to type those in about anything that we've covered or that you've been working on, and we can address that towards the end here. All right, you guys, well, let me share my screen. We are already recording, and we are off. All right, you guys, so just like all of the other trainings, I do like to point out the different features we have available to receive a little more help and a little more knowledge. The first one, and I hope you guys have all gone there, but it's this KVCore training tile, but more specifically, the View Learning Portal. Now, the Learning Portal breaks out KVCore into a bunch of different pieces. So this core quick start is going to be great for those of you kind of needing a little more of a foundational level, breaking out KVCore into smaller pieces. And then we've also got things like social media posting protocol, real estate retargeting. We also have a seller, how to generate more seller leads. All right here available for you guys. To take at any time to help you, again, break down the KVCore platform into smaller pieces. Now we also have our support portal over here on the left-hand side. And the support portal is more information about one specific topic. What you'll do is either go to the help articles, search out the topic, or go to the search bar and search out that keyword that you are, kind of working on today. You guys can also learn about our product updates, our new features, join our additional webinars and training. You guys, this has tons and tons of videos for you. They're broken out by tabs, so you can kind of see we've got this one, that one, that one. And then there also, there's several classes within that tab. So you should not run out of content to watch, to listen to kind of play back while you guys are actually, doing whatever it is that they're doing in the video. It's all here and available for you guys. All right, so talking about our websites, I want to click on my email address in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to click down on my website. Now, this is my demo website. I've done some work on it here. I've also got, some of particular types of properties, what's my home worth, open houses, my testimonials, just reduced, open houses, and listings in a particular area. I've also included an About Me section, my blog posts, any particular areas that I like to cover or any popular keywords in my area. So you can see I've kind of customized this to kind of match me, match my brand, be a little more focused about myself while still staying true to the company and the company logo and everything necessary there. So what I want to do is, and the reason why we went to the website this way is because you guys will not have to register on your website, so you guys can, look at things. You can, test out the system this way, as opposed to going to your website, registering, and kind of going down the rabbit hole of providing the information that's already in KVCore, the KVCore system knowing that. So again, best practice is to not just go to your website, to not enter in your personal information, or anything that's in KVCore already, because the system knows, and it tends to work a little funny if you enter information that the system already associates with a real estate agent inside KVCore. So if you guys do want to test out your own website, I'd encourage you to click on your email address, click on your link to your website right here. That way you do not have to register as a lead, and you can just click through anything you want to as you're going through the site. Now, if you do want to register as a lead and see how information comes through, see if you can get, a spouse, a family member, a cousin, niece, nephew, somebody else to let you borrow their email address, their phone number, and they can forward and share that those pieces of information, those emails and those text messages that may come through. Now, the way we're going to kind of update our website, everything is done within our web and IDX section. So in our web and IDX section, you guys will see we're going to start right here in the very middle. I know it's a little weird, but right here underneath website content. And I'm going to click view/edit next to my testimonials. Now, this is where you guys can add your own testimonials to your KVCore website. You can also connect Zillow reviews to your KVCore website to appear on the right-hand side of your testimonials page. So when I do that, I have not connected mine, but if I go to my agent, I have a testimonials drop-down that's on my website. And the cool thing about this page is that you guys can send people directly here in your drip campaigns, or in, email blasts or things like that, where people can just fill out a testimonial and get it automatically added to your website. Now, I'll also have the current testimonials that have already been provided here. And then your Zillow reviews are going to be up here above the property search on your right-hand side. Again, make sure you guys have this toggle turned on to allow those testimonials to get added. Jacob, you have to click on Connect Zillow Reviews, and you have to enter in your email address or your screen name to get it added. I'll show you another place where you can do it as well if for some reason this particular section isn't working for you. Your screen name is provided to you by Zillow, Jacob, but you can enter in your email address that's associated with your Zillow account, and that will be just fine. All right, jumping over to service areas and SEO. Now, SEO is your search engine optimization. So basically, when someone is looking on Google or Bing or some other search engine, if you guys provide a keyword that gets searched frequently, and that keyword is part of your website, people have a better chance of seeing your website provided towards the top, or higher up on that results list. So what I'd really encourage you guys to do is add right here with this add button with a little magnifying glass. Start typing out areas. And you can see I can pick an area, I can pick a neighborhood, I can pick a city, a county, anything that's going to fit the market that I work, the areas that I work that are going to be big for people searching and Googling on the internet. Now, you can also, if you remember from my website here, I'm going to click on my home page and go all the way to the very bottom. So I'm going to scroll pretty quick. But right here, I've got my areas we covered. Now, you'll notice that these sections correlate exactly to what is in my service areas and SEO section on the back end of KVCore. So anything you put there will appear here. But the cool thing is that your leads or someone who is looking on your website, they can click on these, or I guess you can even click on these and you can send out this page as a New York City area stats. And I scrolled too quick again, sorry. You can see like the average price. You can see the average price per square foot, the walk score, year built, most popular, most expensive, least expensive, what's the market health, what's the map, what are areas, what are some neighborhoods that are all popular in the New York area. So kind of cool. Again, you guys can share this out to your contacts just based on your service areas and SEO section that you add. Now, your custom pages, this is if you guys want to create any custom pages to send people to maybe an external location. Maybe you want to build some information within your KVCore website. So what I've done here is I've done a lender highlight page. I've also done a New York City events calendar link. So you can tell that that's there based on my upper right-hand corner, the ability to kind of search. So I've got my New York City events calendar. I can click on that and it will take me out because that's how I've programmed it to be sent out. I can also, again, I've done this little drop down for my lenders and I can do a lender highlight and I took it to an external location again, but you can build a page within KVCore that talks about your lender or maybe some loan information, maybe benefits of buying versus renting. I mean, whatever you guys want to use for these custom pages, you can build because they are completely custom. You guys are the one that are building them. So what you can do here is press on this green new page option. Put out the title, and maybe your title is for, benefits of buying. And then you guys can build your content for your page right here in this content section. So you guys can, do bulleted lists. You can do a table. You can do an HTML page within KVCore if you would like. Or you can link externally. You can put that in a lender category, in your New York City events category, however you want, that organizationally lined up. And then this last one of adding to your child sites, this is really for your admins and for your company. So if your company were to create a custom page, they could decide to add that to your website as well. And that's just kind of standard for everybody with the K Company. Now, once you add this custom page, make sure it's published. And a little bit later in the training, I'll show you how to make sure to decide if it's a single click option or if it's a drop down option. But for now, we're going to go over to our blog tab up here towards the top. Now, as you saw, KVCore has a blog section available within it. This again is great for your SEO. Just so because you type out more keywords in your blogs, again, people are going to start typing. They're going to start finding your website based on the blogs that you add. Now, I'm not saying you have to blog. You definitely don't. If you do not blog, there's not going to be any blog section on your site. But if that's something you decide to do, and I would encourage it at least a little bit to get that SEO up. You can add some blog posts, and again, just click on the green Add Post button, type out your content, and publish. Now, for embeds is an option. Well, our first option is for QR codes. So this is something like, okay, well, I want my website to have a QR code. And what we can do is you guys can then take this QR code and you can put it on the back of your business cards. Or another really cool thing is we've got a listing QR code. So enter the MLS number of your listing, pick your website, and then we're going to create a QR code for that specific listing. So you guys could add these to flyers for open houses or things like that, to get people easily going to your websites. Now, for these other embed options of like property search, website widget, and the seller valuation, excuse me, I had to sneeze there. But we've got property search as an embedding widget. So what we can do is KVCore will take these options here and we can embed that or kind of put that into your other website that is not affiliated with KVCore. That way you still have your other website that may have really good SEO, but people can still search for properties and be taken back to your KVCore site to look at that information. Same thing goes for the website widget, just a different view here. And then your seller valuation. And again, these could be added to any of your other KVCore, or excuse me, non-KVCore websites. Now, for your widgets, and I will be very honest here, a lot of what we do with our websites is based on HTML coding. If you guys do not know any coding, it may be, I'll show you some options a little bit later on of how we can kind of get somebody else to customize your site. But if you do know a little bit will get you a long way when it comes to KVCore, especially in terms of these widget options. So again, on my website, on my home page, I have got this section that may look familiar to yours where it says multifamily, houses, land, and condos. Now, these four make up one widget. And I'll kind of show you, this widget is called the default property type widget. You can kind of see we've got multifamily, houses, land, and condos. Now, down below, we've got what's my home worth as well as open houses. Now, while these look like widgets, I have created those. And so what we can do though is you guys have other options called, home worth, your featured listings, just listed, financing, open houses, recruiting, all types of widgets available. Now you cannot change the pictures for these other widgets. The only one that will change is the default property type widget. Now, if you want to change the pictures for a widget, you would just have to create a tile on your own. Which is what I had to do here to change it for my what's my home worth and my open houses tiles. So these look like widgets, but they are not because I wanted custom pictures for these specific options here. Now, if you add a widget to your website, you first have to add them from your default widget section. Now, the default widget section is basically like your KVCore library of widgets. And so what you can do is you can then just click on Add to My Widgets. And just because you add to your widgets does not mean it's added to your website. You would still have to click on Add and then Append. Append would make it being added to the site. So that's how you would add that to your KVCore website. If you want to delete it, again, it does come, you would have to know HTML coding to know where this the code for this particular widget starts and stops. Now, all of that can be done using the site editor. One place to access it is in this My Widgets section with this blue site editor section. Or the more popular way to access it is using this website manager. And then there is a blue site editor option over here underneath this template tile. Now, when you guys click on Go to Site Editor, it's going to bring up what looks like your website. And then as I kind of scroll down, you'll notice I now have a bunch of other options here where I've added what's my home worth. Now, what I can do if I no longer want that is I can just click on it. And this one's fairly easy to understand because there's only one thing there. But again, if you didn't know HTML, you would have to know where one stopped, and where one ended. Now, if you want to change any of your other pictures, you would have to go into this code view again. So it's where this caret is with the line through it. And then it would be your background image is hosted somewhere. So meaning it's like a .com or a .something. And you would have to take that and then you could add it into your KVCore site. Again, you would have to know HTML in order to kind of write out that coding. I will say we do have some help on our KVCore support portal, and it is called Advanced Website Editor Customization DIY. Now again, this is our large disclaimer up here at the top. You do need to know HTML. KVCore and anybody at Inside Real Estate is not a designer. So we don't do any website designs. But we do kind of provide you the tools that are able to kind of help customize. So if that makes any sense, we don't do the customizing in-house. You can always pay someone. You can do it yourself because we give you the tools to do so. Now I want to click on this edit settings option in blue. It's a little more of your more basic, but probably more typical website settings of what you would think of. So we've got our general options here. So, your background images. We do have stock images for you guys to use. If you select more than one picture, when you refresh your website, you do have the option of kind of having that rotate through. If none of these pictures work for you and you want to change that, we do give you the sizing recommended for these background images, and you can upload your own. And then there are tons of options in this edit settings option of your web and IDX. I'm not going to cover every single one of them, but I am going to cover a lot. So just bear with me, but these are a lot of the more typical settings here. So on this page, you guys can hide the resources page if you want to, and then you guys can, build your own if you want to. You guys can hide office information if it's okay with your MLS. You guys can mandate a phone number when people are registering on your website. So they're on your website, they're looking at a specific property, and KVCore brings up the prompt to register. We only mandate the email address, and we give the cell phone number as optional. You can opt in to mandate a phone number. However, I just wanted to take some time on this because we don't recommend it. You guys do lose up to 30% of your leads that can come through. We've also seen an increase of fake phone numbers that are being provided. Now, your website title, this is going to appear on the tab up here, kind of, you can maybe see on my my screen share here, but it's also what displays right here in gray. Typically, my demo account is slightly different, but you can pick, I've included my contact information. You can include a nice tagline or a little slogan that you guys want to add, but that's where you guys will add that particular section. You guys can also start using things like your custom header for your Facebook retargeting pixel. In your webinars and training video, we have a video helping you guys get your retargeting pixel up and how to use retargeting using Facebook. So definitely take a look at that if that's something you're interested in. We have custom bodies, custom footers, anything that you guys need to add, and kind of giving you typical examples of what you can put here. We also have the ability to have you guys use your Facebook Messenger as a chat from your website. So in the bottom corner of your website, there should be a chat with us option. And if someone were to click on that, it's going to open up a new page to go to your Facebook Messenger account. And then you can start chatting back and forth. Maybe you're not in the office, maybe you're on, in a meeting, watching a soccer game or something. You can still chat back and forth because most of us have Facebook Messenger on our phones. Now, Jacob, here's another place where you can add those Zillow reviews is in this testimonial section on that edit settings option. Enter in your email address for Zillow, or you can opt in for your screen name if you know that over your email. Now, we do have two different template types, the Hero as well as Foundation. I highly encourage you guys to stay on the Hero Foundation. It is more up to date. It's a little more modern. It's the one that I'm using on my demo website for reference. You guys can always change your color theme. You know, I've got blue, gray. We probably have 30 different colors for you guys to choose from. If you would prefer to have a background video play, you just need that YouTube ID, add that here, and that will display as instead of your background picture. Yeah, Brian, right now, for the chat option, this is really the free option that we provide is Facebook Messenger. If your company or you purchase a different chat, you can use the coding for that company for that chat option, but this one is the free option for Facebook Messenger. Jacob, I'm not sure why your Zillow reviews are not uploading. It may take some time. With any website changes that you guys make, it can take some time. If you know how to clear or to flush your cache for your website, that may also speed things up a bit, but it can take a little bit of time. All right, your template extra options. So these are the kind of the little settings that make a difference here. You know, hiding the chat widget if you don't want to use that, Brian. You guys can use different colors for your headers. Do you want to use a square agent picture instead of a round one? Do you even want to hide your picture? Do you want to use a larger background image? Just some little settings there. Your custom navigation is going to allow you to change the navigation on the upper right-hand corner of your website. So instead of search, I have opted to say, you know, find your dream home, or, you know, your sell label, your finance label, whatever you want to change the wording to, you have the option to do that here. Brian, that's a great point. Jacob, did you enter one manual testimonial and then connect your Zillow reviews? People have been finding that works, and Brian had found the same. Now, if you guys remember talking about those custom pages, now if this is where you guys will decide if you want them to be a single click, or do you want them to be a drop-down option. So your single click is going to be select custom pages. Your drop-down option is going to be select categories. So again, just when you're going through, pick which one you want and then get that added to your website. Now you guys can hide the resources tab, you can hide the finance tab, you can hide the we're hiring link. This is how you guys can change which types of featured listings you want displayed in our listing carousel section. Now we have things like turning it off completely, my listings, so your own listings, just listed, just reduced, open houses. You can pick any particular area from your service areas and SEO section. Or if you guys have gone into your listings tab and entered in some manual sold listings, you can have your sold listings display as a featured listing on your listing carousel section. Now your Google Analytics ID, if you have one, your listings, your types served, is which listings do you want to display on your website. Now I've taken off land, so if you noticed, because I've taken off land, it does not get rid of my widget, or this is my default widget right here. It still says land, but now it just says 0 listings instead of however many active listings there are. Now I can go in and change this within that site editor section. I can add anything I want to, you know, from within this section, within my title and my testimonials. You guys can make this as big or as small as you want to. But that's where I would have to go in and I could change that land section from, something different, or, turning it on or off from right here. Hector is asked, can you create a custom page by building a specific search, neighborhood, etc., and title yeah, for sure, Hector. So what I would do is just go to your website, or even if you guys remember talking about landing pages and squeeze pages, you guys could build those and then add them as custom pages to your site. And so you could name it like, popular searches, or I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't. But whatever you wanted to name that category, and you can have a drop down of a bunch of those different searches for popular areas if you want to. Now you guys can use, change the way you want to sort those properties, how you want those properties to be displayed, as well as add any additional popular options to search from. So things like school district, that could be important. Different amenities, half baths, is there a basement, water access, things like that that might be popular for certain people. Now, I just want to touch on listings really quick, because I want to make sure you guys remember. So I know we've talked about how to go to and filter your listings, filter by your own, but in regards to displaying that sold information, is making sure you guys know you can click on this manual option within the listings section of KVCore. And you could add any listings, and it could be things like an exclusive listing, a coming soon property, or a sold property that you want to display the information because it's not active on your MLS. We have that option here. Now I'm going to go to the marketplace, and I want to show you guys. So if some of you are thinking, well, hey, I do want a more customized website, but I don't know how to do that myself, not a problem. We do have these options here for you in the marketplace. If you guys want to use your own person to create a website for you, we do have a DIY WordPress plugin token. Again, someone does have to be an expert at WordPress, but you guys can purchase this and get that WordPress to your site. We do have a semi-custom template design, and this one's pretty cool. I want to show you. This is a semi-custom website, done just from that tile here, but you guys can tell, we've got a nice background picture, a nice HTML section, market homes, search a particular area. And this is all done within that site editor section, but just somebody who knows a lot of HTML coding. So pretty cool of what you guys can do. You can make these look really, really nice, just with a little bit down here in our semi-custom KVCore designs. Now this one, just click get this. It is $700 per website customization. But you guys can see, an example here. You can click through, see another example, and you can kind of see what is possible within that section. Now, again, with WordPress, it is completely custom. So they, again, would have to be a WordPress Pro to really take advantage of this WordPress section. Now, let me go back. I know Jacob asked a few questions here that wasn't quite related, so I wanted to leave that a little bit. Jacob, have you not heard back from support on your Vanity domain? And maybe that's a good segue here. For those of you who are not sure, this is a Vanity domain add-on. So if you guys have gone to GoDaddy or any other website place like that and purchased your own domain, if you want KVCore to host that domain, we can do so for a small fee per month. by using this Vanity domain add-on. There is a free option where you guys can just go to, GoDaddy or Bluehost or Bluegate or whoever, and you can forward your Vanity domain to your KVCore website, and that is a free option. But if you want it completely hosted, that what is the $10 per month fee. All right, you guys. Well, we've got about 15 minutes for questions. So please, if you haven't already asked your question in that GoToWebinar control panel, in that questions section, I am happy. We've got tons of time here. Ask any question that we've talked about or haven't talked about that you guys are working through on your own. If you haven't gone to support yet, they are pretty quick. You just need to, explain exactly what it is that you're looking for with them. Um, they may think it's one thing and it's actually another, but just be as, specific as you can just to help them identify the issue. All right, I'm not seeing any questions. Hopefully you're just all typing it out. All right, you guys. Well, I'm not seeing anything come through. I hear there we could get on with a few more trainings. There's kind of more an open Q&A session coming up in the near future. So if you guys do have any questions for now, please just go to my support team. Be as specific as possible. They go through a lot of chats per day, so just making sure that they understand your specific issue is going to be really helpful. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to join me today and in any of the other trainings that you guys have joined. It's been my pleasure to help coach you guys through starting to use some of this site. And again, please take advantage of the other features that we have within KVCore, like the learning portal, the support portal, those webinars and training section to make sure that you've got anything you need covered, and we've got an article there to support you. Hector, that is a great question. If you wanted to add your brand logo, would that require a semi-custom site? No. However, it is a custom header that you would have to write. You'll notice that I have added mine here. I don't know if you, let me click into something here. I have added my own branded logo. You can kind of tell. However, um, it's not worth paying the $700 just for that. My support team may be able to help with that, or I'm trying to think of how we could help you guys with that, because we don't quite recommend it because it will take away your company's logo, which sometimes is not MLS compliant, Hector. It is possible with some HTML coding in your custom header. And I don't know how to write that, but if you could find somebody to do that, like for, a little bit of money, that's way better than that $700, because that's really only worth maybe like 20 bucks. So, me just being honest out there, but it is possible within the custom header section of your edit settings in your web and IDX, if that's helpful. Sorry, that wasn't quite what you're looking for, but I wouldn't do the full semi-custom site if that's the only thing that you wanted to change. All right. Well, again, thank you guys so much. Hopefully, we will talk soon. Have a great day, and follow up with those articles, those tradings, things like that to continue furthering your knowledge. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Hector. Sorry that they weren't super helpful, but I wouldn't pay that money for just changing your logo. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye bye.